What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to our 2021 NBA Draft Player Breakdown Series. Today we're going to be talking about one of the internet's most well-known and popular players in freshman point guard, Sharife Cooper. He had a good season at Auburn, so let's get into this breakdown. So Sharife possesses a number of strengths that make him a potential late lottery to mid to first round draft pick in this year's draft class. Now, I wouldn't say that there's one strength that really stands out in front of the others. He really has a combination of strengths, especially on the offensive side of the ball, that really makes him an intriguing prospect for this year's draft class. One thing that Sharife does really well is scoring off the dribble. He's really a elite level scorer, especially at the college level, with the ball in his hands. To go along with that, he's also shown the ability to be a playmaker off the dribble. He really uses screens well. He sees players cutting back door, and he's really good at throwing that baseline lob pass like you just saw in the clips. And so overall, he's got good feel as a point guard. He kind of knows when to score, when to get others involved. And at Auburn, he probably had to score the ball a little more than he probably wanted to, as he was by far their best player. But like I said, he's shown flashes or the willingness to be a playmaker at that point guard spot, as well as having that scoring ability. Another strength that Sharife has is that he's undersized, but he's a pretty good athlete for someone his size. Now at the NBA, is he going to be driving down the lane and dunking on people? No. But he's able to use that athleticism in other ways. He's really quick, got a quick first step, and he knows how to, once he gets that step in front of you, how to use his body to shield himself off, or the defender off, that is, and get an open look. And really, like I said, uses that pick and roll really well. He knows just how to play out of that, which is something that should translate to the NBA and can be a strength for him there. To go along with his strengths, Sharife also comes with a number of weaknesses that I think may ultimately hold him back in this year's draft and potentially throughout his NBA career. Obviously, the biggest weakness for Sharife is his size. He's listed at 6 foot, 160, 170 pounds, but I'm not sure if either of those are accurate. To me, he looks, a lot shorter than 6 foot out there, and 160, 170 pounds is really light for the point guard position. And so I think defensively, it could be a struggle for him in the NBA, especially early on. I think in order to stay out on the floor, he's going to have to be really producing offensively, because I think teams are really going to search him out and really abuse him on the defensive side of the ball. Another issue or thing that Sharife needs to work on is his jump shot. He was really a streaky shooter at Auburn. When the jump shot was falling, it really opened up the rest of his game and made him really a hard player to guard on the offensive side of the ball. But when it wasn't following, his game was really getting downhill and getting to the rim, and at his size, it was a little harder to do, and will only get harder at the NBA level. And so he's got, decent mechanics from three, but at the same time, it looks a little unorthodox, and so that's something he's definitely going to have to clean up and become, I think, elite at if he wants to make it in the NBA. And then one last weakness that I think he's got to work on is just valuing the ball and being a willing passer as a point guard. Like I said, at Auburn, the ball was in his hands all the time, and teams really loaded up to stop him because he was by far their best player. But at the same time, that's not going to happen at the NBA. He may be the 4th or 5th best player on his team when he's out on the floor, especially early on. And so he's got to, as a point guard, value the possessions, make the right plays, and just, willing to be that overall point guard that teams are looking for. Overall, I really like Sharife's game. I really thought he was underrated in high school because he was always rated, in the teens, which, I just didn't think there was, 15 better players than him in the country or whatever he was ranked. And so I thought he was underrated in high school, and I think he's maybe a little underrated now. Now, I think it's going to be a challenge for him at the NBA with his size. Like I said, I don't think he's 6 foot. He just looks shorter than that to me. And so to make it in the NBA at that size, you have to be elite. You have to just, possess, another set of skill set that just, not many people have. And so I think it's going to be hard for him. Now, the talent is there. If he is able to, put it all together offensively and kind of mitigate some of those defensive weaknesses that he could potentially have, then, I think he could make it in the NBA. But, we've seen it with other short players like Tyler Ulis and players like that it's hard to make it at that size. So I'm rooting for Sharife. Like I said, I thought he was underrated in high school. I still like his game now. I just think it's going to be kind of hard for him to put it all together at the NBA level. And so it'll be interesting to see how his career turns out, because I think it could, be a really solid NBA career, or I think, it could be a quick stint in the NBA, just depending, I guess, on how things go. And so leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of Sharife and his game. Let me know how you think his NBA career is going to turn out. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys later.